All right, what's going on, everybody? Michael back at you guys with my boy Kevin, man. How you doing today, bro?
I'm doing good, bro. Thanks for having me on.
Man, no problem, bro. Appreciate you coming by, man. It's been a while, but you know how it goes in the Army. We always been in contact, checking in on each other, making sure we good. And I know last time I checked you, go ahead and just tell me what you like. I don't want to tell your story. I want you to go ahead and let everyone know, like, where you from if you want to say that, and like sort of what got you joining the Army.
Yeah, so I'm from Cleveland, Ohio originally. Uh, I mean, I kind of just needed a way to get out. I knew college wasn't probably the best route for me to go. Just knowing myself and how I am with school wouldn't, you know what I'm saying. So the Army was like the next best thing for me. I know you remember McBee and Peterman. So
Yeah,
we went to school together. So it was crazy that we all went to Future Soldier together, and then like they left for basic training earlier, but we still all ended up in Germany. So
that's
it
wild.
was
I though, dude.
yeah, it was kind of lit. I met a couple like cool people from Cleveland out there, so I just had to get away from the city. It was kind of crazy, man. So that was my initial reaction. I wasn't joining like from a history of my family
Yeah,
being like that.
yeah.
It was kind of just like a way to provide for myself and kind of be on my own for a minute and just kind of figure out life itself. I mean, I was 19, so wasn't much life to be figured out at that point. But so that's when I got
Yeah.
the VilSec. Uh, stayed in VilSec for a while, 2 years. Had a blast. Deployed with 2CR. From there, I kind of I left, went to Fort Stewart. Fort Stewart, it was all right, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, different strokes for different folks. I didn't have a bad time there, but it's just a very coming from Germany to there, the very high up tempo. So it was like I
Yeah.
stayed in the field. You know what I'm saying? We were working, going crazy. And then from there, I got orders to go be a drill sergeant. So I came to Fort Jackson. I did the whole little drill sergeant thing for 3.5 years as I ended up going up to the academy to be a drill sergeant instructor. So after that, it was my body was already kind of telling me, it was
Man.
time to hang it up. And you know, my mind was telling me like, what I'm saying, my heart wasn't in it. So I just made the decision to go ahead and medically retire.
Dude, good for you, man. How long ago did you end up getting out?
My last day in the army was October last year, toward the end of October. So I got out like October 26th last year, and yeah, bro, hit the ground running. I feel like I kind of had 6 months of foresight to kind of figure out what I wanted to do and figure out life before I actually got out.
How'd you end up knowing like it was going to be just time for you to do the disc? Did you just like go through like your provider, like your doctor, and be like they helped you just do that process? Because I almost did that, but I had like 11 months left at Fort Carson, and I feel like it just went by so fast. I already ETS, man. So like,
Yeah.
how did yours go for you?
So with me being on the trail for like that time, I mean, it's so fast paced that you really don't go and get. I mean, we don't do it anyway. Everybody say like, "Oh, you
Yeah,
want to be a sick call ranger and all this stuff." So we really don't
yeah,
go and get checked the way we supposed to. What I'm saying, get checked. So like, I had just went and I was like, now that I had a little time as an instructor, I went and I got my shoulder checked out, and he was like, "I don't know how you still operating because I had like a torn labrum."
dang,
Partially torn rotator cuff and stuff like that, and I'm still just going to work, still doing PT every day. I'm just thinking the pain is just from overuse or whatever the case may be.
yeah,
So we kind of went from there, man. And it was like she just asked me straight up, was like, "Hey, I know you only got like, well, I had a lot of time left on my contract, but I was getting ready to PCS." So she was like, I really want you to have the surgery. And I was like, bro, I really Fort Jackson doesn't have a hospital, so it's all civilians. So I went down to USC, University of South Carolina, and had like a minor procedure. And
yeah.
that kind of like helped me, but it still was to the fact where I was like, I'm not, because I was artillery, so I going back to the gun line just wasn't gonna be an option for me. And they was like, "Oh, we can reclass," and I was like, "Bro, I don't want to. I'm a song first class. I don't want
Yeah.
to like
Go back
reclass.
to
I gotta
AIT.
relearn a whole job. This specialist out here like, no, this is how you do it. I'm like, I'm cool, bro. Like, it's just
Yeah.
time for me to go. So she presented that option to me, and I thought about it for a couple of days, and I took it. I didn't know if I was ready to get out. I would be able to support myself, and then I had two small kids, so definitely a lot of thought going into that.
Like when you did your medical part, did you have your disability stuff all lined up too? Like when you got out, did you already have like where you are? If you don't mind asking, you were 100% when you got out.
So since I med boarded, it's pretty much all done for you. That's the only difference between a med board and like you ETSing and doing it is that like
Yeah,
the VA will literally like call your phone and be like, hey, let me hold your hand and we're gonna walk you through like you get on a video conference, something similar like this, and
yeah,
he'll pull the forms up and y'all will talk and he filling out the forms for you, pretty much submit everything. They get your appointments, a CMP exam lined up for you and things like that. And you know, I was kind of surprised because you know I didn't want to be like overly dramatic with some of my stuff, but he was like, you know,
yeah,
don't tell me how you feel today. Tell me how you felt on your worst day. So, and
yeah,
I mean, of course, results may vary, or you know, experiences may vary with anything, but I still feel like you know they kind of have my best interest at hand. Like he wasn't here, like you know, what I'm saying he was like, I want you to you know get the help you need, or you know, get whatever is due to you. So that process in itself is kind of interesting, bro. It's so many different like facets you can go. Like me and my wife did the exact same thing at the exact same place and had two totally different experiences.
yeah. That's yeah. It's and now it's even getting wilder because they're so backlogged in the VA. They're getting all the different providers that are third party, which is
Yeah,
fine and dandy, but like some of them are like not doing what they're supposed to do. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
like that's just the fact of the matter of is. But yeah, like you said, everyone has a different experience. But like you probably know, we gotta know like what the CFR manual says and like what it says for all the different stuff. That way we got an upper advantage too, right?
definitely
Because
do research.
it's like because they're trying to discredit you at the end of the day. Not all of them, some of them, but they're gonna just put it in like you said. If you tell them you're doing great today and you're going in there looking amazing and you're touching your toes and they're trying to like look at your range of motion, they're gonna like say like you were good for that day, but in all reality, you might be hurting every day.
Yeah.
So, but like, did you know what you wanted to do when you got out of the army? Did you like what'd you do? Just chilling because your dad like wanted to just decompress? How'd you decompress? How'd you chill?
So like the first thing I did, of course, like everybody else, like so I started terminal leave and I did nothing. Like I sat at the house and it was kind of planned because I kind of already planned what I wanted to do. Like soon as I started the med board process, the vocational rehabilitation and education people from the VA, they called me, was like, hey, you know, we know you getting out. We just here if you need us. You know what I'm saying? If you want to talk over some options. So I had already talked with them. I was already close to completing my degree, so I really didn't need like the educational part, but like the vocational part was, I'm not gonna lie, like hats off to the VA, amazing program, like resume writing, like interview practicing. You get like your own counselor. So the counselor was there to kind of help me, you know, like she was kind of giving me tips like, hey, listen, on the civilian side, you know, this, and this. She helped me like translate my military experience to civilian like terms or whatever. Uh, and the crazy part is, bro, is like the VA literally like throws money at you, bro. I didn't even use them to find a
Yeah,
job. So like I finished up my degree. I went through because it's not the CMP. What is it called? Anyway, I used the Army to get some more IT certs because that's just like
yeah,
uh
just some different stuff they pay for, like STEM or something like that,
yeah,
STEAM or
yeah.
whatever.
So
Yeah,
I
different.
say I
Yeah,
did like the Army's version of SSS where like the last 2 months from the Army, I used to just go to class and then you know I got AWS and Security Plus, and like I did the
okay.
same thing with when Purvis was getting out, and I told Purvis like, bro, you need to get on that, bro, because it's like
Yeah,
it's there for you. And then I found a job just off like one of somebody that I had served with before, just like sent a email to a lady that worked for the state. And, you know, she shot me emails like, hey, you know, I want to schedule you for an interview. And I was like, you know, so I was like, I don't know if I'm ready to work yet. Or I was like,
go,
I'm about to
go
enjoy
right
life.
back.
Yeah. So she did that, and like I went up there and I just interviewed, and that ended up being like my first job. But like when I got the job, the VA was like, oh well, you know, since you know you went through VR&D and you finished this program, we owe you 2 checks. And I'm like, well, I'm already getting my disability check and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I was
For real,
retired
man.
in total. And they literally just cut me like 2 checks for like 2300 or something. So like I got one on the first, and then the next month I got that on top of what I was already getting. And I'm like, I called her like nervous, like, hold on, like I was like, y'all like double pay me. She was like, no, you get this for using the programs that the VA put in. I'm like, bro, that's probably something that people don't know. Like, it's
who's really telling you that? Really, like you said, dude, because I was using my GI Bill at first, and then the school I was going to, I ended up talking to a warrant officer. His name was Angel, and he told me about we talked about voc rehab. Then I put in for it. I got put in for voc rehab, and I used that for my whole bachelor's degree, bro. And they just passed a law. It was a couple years ago now, but if you use voc rehab first, it's now called Veterans Readiness Employment Program. So you're like, we're not trying to misspeak if anyone's trying to hate on us, because we trying to tell people what this like you said, they're throwing money at us, my boy. You can make literally. You live in New York. My buddy's he's going to school using, I think, voc rehab, or I don't know if he's in voc rehab yet, but he's using his GI Bill. It's $3,900 a month BAH, bro. What if you got a job? What if you got your medical? Well, you got CRSC. I mean, people don't talk about that. They don't talk about all the other stuff. There's a lot of stuff out there, man. Like you said, we could just go off and in, but that's great that we gotta let people know, man, because who told us?
Exactly. And the crazy part is, like, I was going through like the med board process, and like, they talk to you like, oh, your GI Bill, and you can do this, this, and this. And I was like leaving the education center, and the dude was like, I was actually clearing posts. And he was like, you getting out? I was like, yeah. He was like, you already got your disability? I was like, well, I'm med boarder, so it was kind of done for me. And he was like, oh, all right. And he like ran to the back and got this pamphlet. It was like, hey, he was like, you 100%? I was like, yeah, that's what they projected right now. I'm 100%. So he was like, hey, chapter 31. He was like, look, you can use this for school. You got to touch your GI Bill, like all this stuff. And he put me on. So I was like, he was like, yeah. He was like, you get 38 semester hours. And I was like, well, I already got a degree. He was like, well, go get another one. He was like, it's free. You know what I'm saying? And you get BAH and you still collect your disability and stuff. So I think, like me, I'm a overthinker. So I refuse to like sit and be dormant. So I had saved up enough money for me, to just sit around and do nothing while I was getting out the military and stuff like that. And I was waiting. I was on terminal leave. I was still getting paid anyway. So I had forecasted that. And then like I was at home for like 3 months, and I got to be with my kids every day. And then like when the time came, like November, I was like, all right, bro, it's probably time to like, put your feet in the pool. And I got that call, and man, it's crazy. Like it's so many resources out here. And then like I always tell people, like, the greatest resource you have was with the other people you serve with, bro. Cause like they go out and like we advocate for each other so tough. Like with Purvis, bro, I was like hitting, because I know we like in the same field with IT. Like I was like hitting people up, like, hey, I'm saying, help my boy do this and this. Like, yeah, man, I got you. He a vet too. Like, yeah, and it's just like you kind of help. You know what I'm saying? It's like, we all we got. So nobody else gonna understand you like that. So I was trying to like, I try to help everybody, and like it ended up helping me out, because like a week or two ago, bro, I got a call, and I had got like 2 job offers, and they both was in Georgia. So I was going back to Georgia regardless. That's where my wife from. And like the dude was like, what I'm saying? They throw these numbers out, but you got to kind of look at the quality of life. Like, I'm not trying to do something that's close to what I was doing in the military. Like, I'm not trying to like rip and run. So
you upgrading. Are you upgrading at all? You're not going backwards. You're progressing, man. You're doing your thing. Yeah. So
I pretty much was, one was CSX, and then one was waste management. So like I kind of blew waste management off, because I was like, bro, I'm not being a garbage man. I was like, I'm not doing that. And
that makes 6 figures though.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm not being a garbage man. I'm like, bro, I'm not thinking so much of it like the job. I'm thinking so much of it's the labor. Like, bro, I'm not trying to be out there in all type of weather.
Tough job though. I mean, it's not no easy task though, dude. You gotta respect the people that do that. Honestly.
And CSX, they wanted me to come be like a manager of train operations, bro. And it's like CSX do an amazing job of like selling the corporation, bro. But like once you do some research, you kind of figure out. And I had a friend that I served with who was already working there, so he was kind of giving me like the real, because they was like, oh yeah, managers start off at 110, you get a company car, you work 3 days and then you off 2, like, and that's kind of how they schedule go. But he like, bro, even though you off on them 2 days, like you on call, he like, it's no set hours. Like when they call you and be like, get to the train station or train yard or whatever, you gotta like get there. So I was like kind of looking at that, and I was still gonna do it. And like I felt me working for the state, I was here like treading water. So I was kind of like getting restless, because I just don't do well in office settings. Like I kind of got to get outside and touch the grass sometime. So I was kind of like, like in a way I was panicking. I was like freaking out, like, man, we got to go back to Georgia. I feel like I haven't done enough. And I like reached out to my sister and she was like, what I'm saying? She kind of gave me a pep talk, talked me off the ledge because I was like ready to like work wherever. And she was like, no, she was like, remember, what I'm saying? They want to hire you. You don't need them to hire you. They want to hire you. And I reached back out to Waste Management and he was like, yeah, let's do an interview, bro. And Friday I signed my like my preliminary offer or whatever. And bro, that's why I said, bro, like I can't complain, bro. Like I'm beyond blessed. Finna go back to Georgia, making 6 figures, got my disability, set my own hours, I'm just like pretty much on call, bro. But it's like, and the way they set up, they like, oh yeah, for veterans and stuff like this. And they was like, we do quarterly bonuses and it's 20% of your salary. So that I'm just doing the math. Like I'm like, that's $15K every 3 months if they do. Yeah. I mean, because a quarter is 3 months in a year. So, I'm thinking, I'm like, that's a $15K bonus every 3 months, as long as you hit all your like marks. And I'm like, bro. So I gotta told my wife, so we'll be moving here soon. I start next month. So I had put in like my 2-week notice at the state, and everybody was like, no, because it's like, bro, when you get in there and soldier, bro, like you do basic tasks and they like mind blown, bro. Like I'm like, bro,
it's hard to find good people, man, nowadays. That's like, yeah, exactly. So when you get a good one, they should try to keep you at least, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But dude, that's tight that you did Voc Rehab because I did the same. So I did it for like 4 years, and now I'm on my master's, and I almost got 3 years of my GI Bill still, dude.
Yeah.
So I love it, trying to tell people about that too, because it is like, even with Voc Rehab, you can get a computer, you can get a laptop, you get a printer, you can get other stuff. If you have other disabilities, you can get. There's people getting houses built. Like you said, there's so much out there, man. Like it's like it doesn't just stop at a computer or a laptop, dude. It's like full-fledged everything. Did you ever hear about the like honor flight? I guess my buddy told me about it from a Cornell school I went to. He was saying they're doing like Vietnam. I think like the older vets, but they're like flying them all out to DC no matter where they are in the States. Fly them all out and stuff like that. Take them out.
That's crazy. I know. Like I was surprised because my advisor like hit me up and was like, because I told me and her keeping like constant contact with the VRE program, and I kind of went back in because I wanted to do things a little different than the first time, and like they weren't like, oh, you already used. They was like, yeah, come back, let's go, let's work. Like what I'm saying, it was ready. Yeah. So I was like, I kind of got a different job, and I'm out there in the field. And she was like, well, what's the job entail? And I kind of told her, and I sent her my job offer, and she like was like, I'm gonna call you back in like 10 minutes. And then like now she was like, hey, we can get you some booze, we can get you some Carhartt. And I'm like, bro, Carhartt? I'm like, that's expensive.
Yeah, I did all that. You from Ohio, you know them good brands because you need that.
Yeah, so she was like, we can get you like 2 pairs of working boots. I'm like, yeah, let's go. Like, I need that.
But dude, that's tight that you have someone like that. And I'm not trying to, because like you're at the will of your counselor, bro. Let's put it like that almost, because you got other counselors that are known to not help veterans, bro. And sadly, I was a case of that. And I'm not trying to, and it's like, we'll just leave it at that at this point. But like you said, it could be the different, because some people don't know they have self-employment track too. They can give you, grant money for your business. If you have a business plan planned out, they have that stuff set up. So it's a lot, bro. But hey, I'm glad you've been staying up on it, dude. Seriously, man. Like you gotta share with everybody. I talked to Peterman and McBee and everybody too, and Purvis, and he said you're gonna link up. So it's cool because, like you said, dude, like you see it, we gotta start like a positive trend. There's people out here doing this, dude, but it's only probably doesn't only catch so much wind because we're trying to do something good. We're not on negative stuff.
Yeah, that's why I said, like, bro, I'm never gonna like gatekeep information, especially when it comes to things that can like help you. I don't want you to get out and feel like
no one else, dude.
Yeah, like I don't want you, because like when you take off the uniform, it's kind of like a weird feeling because you kind of feel like for a minute it's like, well, damn, now nobody gonna care because I'm not, what I'm saying, I'm not no active duty soldier no more. And like definitely, and I know, and I hate that, bro. Like I feel like the VA I feel like honestly to work for the VA you need to be a veteran. Like you need to be a veteran. And we were talking about that. They offer so many jobs on USA Jobs. I feel like you need to be a vet. Like you need to be a vet. You need to like put yourself in that person's shoes because like how if you like, I mean, granted, my the dude who took me through my med board was super cool. He did my wife too, was super cool. Never served before. So like, you know what I'm saying? It kind of was like, yeah, you helping me, but like you don't understand, like, you know, like some stuff I'm expunging on, like, bro, you know what I'm saying? Every 8 weeks, I'm walking 50 miles for the forge, bro, with these kids. Like I'm doing that every 8 weeks. Like on a rope, like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like we get them, and when they get to the forge, and I put so many miles. Like when I got on the trail, still was I'm sorry performing at a up here, bro. But like sleep deprivation, just the overuse of the body, like bro, everybody say Laxton Jackson is not the case, bro.
Nah, dude, I went to basic training there, and I have like an infantry drill sergeant, combat engineer, drill sergeant, all that stuff's still there. So it's like, yeah, like you said, all that stuff is hype, man. You know what I mean? It's still,
bro, I got there.
Hey, it's Laxton Jackson. Everyone go do it, man. Not like, you know, people really, that's just like an inner side joke of the military. People probably ain't really saying Laxton Jackson that are civilians, but yeah, go sign up.
Yeah, bro. It was wild because like I got there and like I'm the new drill, you know what I'm saying? Like my first round was like, "Oh, you Thurman?" He was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Sergeant Major, I want to talk to you." When it met Sergeant Major, I came back like I'm thinking like they're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, take the day off." He was like, "Hey, you got your ACH?" I was like, "Nah." He was like, "Take mine. They at the range. Let's go." And that was like first day. Like I'm in my good uniform, bro. Like we out there in the range, grouping a zero, and then like from there I knew like, oh yeah, it was crazy. And I'm thinking like, you know, he gonna be like, "Hey, come in 9 tomorrow." He was like, "Hey, we do huddles at 4, so I expect to see you here around 3:45." I'm like, bruh.
Yeah. And Bill said they didn't even they did PT for like an hour sometimes. It was like, because at Fort Campbell, we used to be at like 6:30 to like 8, dude, like going ham at Fort Campbell. They don't play that, man. Like, definitely know you ain't playing that. Go ahead.
When I got the Fort Stewart, bro, it was the same way. Like it was like
you have big BCT, dude. Like they don't, that they on that all day, every day. That hot swamp heat too, out there. What do you think you struggled with the most when you got out?
Probably just kind of trying to figure out what I wanted to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was so much. Like I knew I would be a very competitive person, but like everybody like always says, I'm gonna get out and go to school, or I'm gonna get out and do this. And it's like they're saying it, but it's no, you know what I'm saying, there's no plan behind it. So it's kind of like I mean, I want to do this, but it's not like you got to put some meat and potatoes with it too. So I think if I can go back right now, as soon as I start my med board process, I would have took the Army for everything they had, bro. And I kind of was just on like, you know, I came off the trail. I've been working crazy hard for 3.5 years. I'm gonna just go to the S3 and chill. And like the person that was in the S3, you know, we was on the trail together, so he wasn't making me come in and do PT. He wasn't making me come in and work. He was just like, bro, I just got you down here till you finish up med board.
Yeah.
And I wish I should have been at work every day, but like working for me, you know what I'm saying? Like networking with people and things like that and trying to figure out, because like I kind of waited till I had like 3 months left, and then I got into the I don't know why I can't think of this. It's like they got the credential assistant program.
What is it? What's that?
Credentialing assistant program. The Army got it. It's like the Army.
When you test or something like that.
Yeah, but that's what it's called, CSP. So CSP pretty much, which Purvis, I promise you, bro. Like I told Purvis, like, hey, go get it, because you still active duty, but like you get it signed off on your chain of command, and they like, hey, this your place of duty. So like, if you like in Texas or something, you can legit be like in uniform collecting money from the Army, and they like, hey, go to Lockheed Martin, and you working like there.
Yeah, that's like fellowships and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
I saw Purvis. So did you do that too?
No, so I waited too long. So like when I got there, I was past, like I had already got my decision and stuff. So I pretty much was just like on the downslope. So I got into a program where I went to class. Like I went to a class and earned a cert. I couldn't go do like internship because I had already did like the class thing. But in reality, I could have did the class at the beginning of my med board and then came back and then did the internship and just went straight into the IT field instead of like kind of waiting and, you know.
Man, you were doing a whole bunch of stuff, man. That's good though. Like you should be proud. You should be happy for yourself, man. Why did you want to get into IT? Was it something that you levitated to for what reason?
So like I already was like a computer person and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause I stream and I game and stuff like that. So I had recently got a PC, like, bro. So me and my boy, like, we built this PC and it kind of like piqued my interest. I was like, you know what? I'm like, you probably gonna make a lot of money doing this, cause like, like I had like a couple friends who, like, you know what I'm saying, they never been in the military, but they just went to school for like information technology, management, like DevOps, ethical hacking, just things like that. And like, these dudes been making like 140K, and like my boy kind of sat me down, was like, listen, he was like, if you want, and I was still in the Army, I still had like, this is before I even got on the trail, I was still at Fort Stewart. He was like, listen, go do IT with some type of minor in like government, like Homeland Security, or, you know, government infrastructure or something like that. He said, bro, the world is only going to get more digital. He was like, so the demand for those jobs are only going to go up. Like, if you look at DC right now, you can literally get like a remote job and make almost 200K with no degree. You just need certs. They don't even care that you go to school and get like a bachelor's degree. Like when I went to information technology, they or when I did for the state, they didn't care nothing about my degree. They was like, well, what certs do you have? And I was like, well, you know, I got ethical hacking, I got AWS, I got Security Plus, I got Cisco networks. And they was like, bet, let's go. That's what we want, because it's like, you kind of, information technology is like a broad umbrella, but it has a lot of different disciplines under it. So when you go and get those specific disciplines, like next I'm gonna go get DevOps, because like they going crazy for DevOps. Like on usajobs.gov, they want engineers, bro. They want like cloud things that are just going to get bigger, and they're going to need more engineers. They want it bad, bro. So I felt like I needed to make myself just more. I want to be the most competitive. Like if you looking at 500 applicants, I want you to look like, this dude, you know, he was in the military, and then, you know, he got certs and a degree. So like, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to kind of make myself do it. And I understand, like, you know what I'm saying? If you like single or something, it might be a little bit harder, but like I had 2 little girls as my motivation. So I was like, I wanted them to maintain the same quality of life. I didn't want them to like fall off or nothing like that. So I was hard charging, bro. Like I was like, you know, I'm gonna take my little break, you know, sit on the porch and sip coffee and watch the grass grow for a little bit, you know what I'm saying, and enjoy time with my kids. But I just didn't want to put them through the moving every 3 years, deployments.
I blame you on that, dude. I ended up getting out, and I had no kids in the Army, but I ended up having a son when I got out too. So he's 7 now. How old are your kids?
My oldest is 4, and then my youngest is 2. So I got two little babies.
That age, dude. That is nice little kids, man.
Yeah.
My son, he just turned 7, dude. So yeah, it's crazy, dude. We gotta all link up at some point too, man. Do stuff. Take them all to Germany and stuff. Be like, yo,
yeah, man. I'm trying to get like
everybody. Vegas would be stuff, you know. But I don't know, man. You know how I go. We can even do it on a business type tip, man. Like get up on all type of stuff, like, you know what I mean, like.
Bro, I'm all about traveling, bro. Like I don't care if y'all like, hey, let's go to, I don't know where everybody at, like, but they like, hey, let's go to Carowinds, or we can meet in Ohio and take them to Cedar Point. Like, bro, my kids love stuff like that. Like, it's like a couple people that I get with, and like, you know, we took our kids to water park, and you know, when I go home, I see B and I see Peterman and them all the time. Like, I'm saying, they're my boys. So I mean, they got boys. I ain't got no son yet, bro. I ain't. I can't make a boy for some reason.
You gonna shoot for another one then sometime?
I don't know. Get stuck with 3 girls.
You got on your mind as a dad. You can't lie about that though.
Yeah,
you already said so. That's dude. So hey, man. Hey, you never know. But what do you wish you knew when you were in? What's something that might have slipped through that you found out after? Like, obviously yours was kind of good, but what might have been something?
You said like something that I wish I knew when I was in.
Yeah, before you got out, like that would have benefited you.
That sick call is there to help. Like if you catch like a lot of, man, I was like, you know, we do like that sick call ranger thing and stuff. Like, bro, don't be scared to go get help. Like whether it's like mental, sometimes you just go through it, bro. Like it doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you a terrible soldier or whatever, regardless of whatever stigmas may exist out there. Like, bro, when I got on the trail, I literally met a dude who was airborne and broke his back in 6 places, bro. In 6 places, was in rehab for a year and a half, got the nerves burned on the end of his body, a plate stuck in his back, and was back on the trail with me going hard, bro. Like going hard. Like he was like, I said, I'm in this for 20. I'm in this for 20, bro. And I'm like, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? You could have got out 100% and been out there. He was like, yeah, bro. He was like, but I love it. And he kind of quoted, like Drake. He was like, I mean, the moment I stop having fun with it, I'll be done with it. And like, I was like, bro, you know what I'm saying? I was like, hey, man, if he did it, bro, I'm gonna go to sit car, bro. Like, I'm cool because like on the trail, bro, you get so focused on like trainees that you don't realize, like, bro, like drill sergeants just kind of fall by the wayside, bro. Even on like Fort Jackson, you would go to like, they don't have a hospital, they have like a clinic, almost like how we was in Vilsack, exact same concept.
Yeah.
So they don't have like you would have to go like to like USC or these other like Lexington or Prisma or whatever these hospitals they got in South Carolina to get like surgery and stuff. You can't get it on post. So like if something happened, they rushing people off post. Like the ambulances take all the trainees off post and then you got to go get them off post because they just can't facilitate it. So like you go there and they be like, hey, we can only see drill sergeants from this time to this time because they got so many trainees in the what they call it, the like critical care or whatever thing you can go to. So like you go there as a drill, you will literally wait like 4 hours. So they got to push through all the trainees. You might need an MRI. They be like, hey, we can't get you. You know what I'm saying? 120 have just had a big field, so we got to get these trainees through and stuff. Like you kind of get pushed to the wayside.
And then the time just run out, and then you pretty much out, and you're like, oh yeah, it's like, so I mean, yeah. What's up?
And then you got to think you don't have the time because like you could tell like first sergeant like, hey man, I need to go to like sick call or whatever, and they gonna be like, bro, we got to ruck this morning. Like we gonna ruck out to the range. Like, bro, I thought like me being FA and like, you know what I'm saying, going back to the gun line, I'm like, I'm used to that environment. I'm used to being at work till 8, 9 o'clock. I'm used to being in the motor pool, you know what I'm saying, turning wrenches and doing all this crazy stuff, but which made it easier for me to cope with the trail. But bro, unrivaled. I'm talking about unrivaled. I'm talking about in there at 4, yelling, flipping beds, screaming, destroying kids' souls. We start PT because we don't start PT at 6 on Fort Jackson. They go down to the PT field at like 5:30. So we opening up the bays and like, they doing hygiene, cleaning and stuff. And then like 5, we marching out to the PT field and then we'll do PT till like 8. And then you got to think, you come back for PT. If y'all don't have hot days or whatever, y'all going upstairs, they got like 15 minutes of change. They coming down, getting on the bus. We going out to do whatever training we need to do for the day. When they come back, and if you got to go to child, bro, it's a headache, bro. Like I love MREs and I love hot days, bro, because it make life so much easier than having to march them to the DFAC. Like, then you fighting other battalions, and bro, it was just like I used to just come home. My wife used to be like, "You good?" And I used to just like pass out. Like,
DFAC used to have me like that sometimes too. You just go slump when you get home after working them hours. Get there 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, doing all the mermice and everything like that on all these crazy bases for Campbell and even Vilsack, all them soldiers not even going out to do nothing, just going. How about that one? How about this is a good advice for if someone's at Vilsack or in Germany, stop standing in line in the DFAC and use your meal card and get your passport. Get on Ryanair, start making some travel arrangements. You know what I'm saying? Like see some country over there. So,
I used to feel bad for y'all, bro. Like, cause I seen McBee, he was like, "Yeah, we're not doing PT." I'm like, "Nah, I'm not doing PT." Like, you know what I'm saying? That was like unheard of. And he was like, "Yeah, well, I got to be to the DFAC at 3." I was like, "At 3?" He was like, "Yeah, bro." He's like, "We got to get this shit, bro." He's like, "Bro, look how many people we got to feed, bro." He's like, "You got to have like food rocking and rolling in there, man." I was
real. Like, dude, you believe Jones passed, bro?
No, bro. That just popped up in my Facebook memories yesterday, bro.
RIP, man, Jones.
Yeah, bro. We lost like, it's crazy. Like a lot of people in fires that was up there in FA squadron, bro. Like, bro, I'm talking about like 6, 7 people passed away, bro.
Dude, we had suicides out of Vilsack, bro, out of 2CR, bro. I know.
Yeah, it was like a lot of people,
bro. Dude, Matt Reynolds, dude, like, yeah, they got out. Yeah, crazy. It's that war life.
And bro, it's like it be like it feels so surreal. By people be like, oh, like I had like an NCO that was over me. So he passed away from like leukemia or something crazy. Like, bro, you know, like when you PCS, life just kind of keep going and you just keep in contact with people. But like everybody that I was like in Germany with, bro, that was up there like Hawkins. I still talk to her. We didn't follow each other to every duty station since we left Germany. So like
Dang.
Hawkins, I still keep like some of the people I knew from the infantry, you know, McBee, Peterman, Purvis. I still talk to like Williams. I still talk to Izzy. It's a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? I just like to keep in constant communication with, bro. Like, you know,
Yeah,
at one point in time, we was, you know what I'm saying? We was like,
we're
with
living
each
out
other
there for
daily.
years on end together, dude. That's what I'm saying. That's
Yeah.
always you gonna know these. We're gonna know each other for like the majority of our life. We knew each other when we were like our young ages, you know, like
Yeah, bro.
20s and stuff like that. So, but that's good then, man. So yeah, you guys get good benefits, you know, like in Georgia, like because in Florida, you know, we can get like for our kids, they can get like pretty much a GI. They pretty much can get state college paid for when it comes that time. And like they get a stipend, and your spouse can get that as well in Florida. You know anything about Georgia?
So the only thing they do in Georgia, I know for a fact, is like just taxes and things like that they do for veterans. I don't know if they do anything for kids. That's a good question. I need to research it. I know because originally I was gonna go work for Raytheon in Texas, and like it was like, oh, if you were a disabled vet, you know what I'm saying, even if you didn't get hurt in Texas, when you come here and you become a Texas resident, kids go to any school in Texas for free. They can go to UT, they can go to Houston, they can go to any school you want to in Texas for free. Like Texas, the state of Texas will pay for it. And I'm like, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah, I think Texas, Texas and Florida, like always number 1 and 2, always on a lot of people's list for veteran friendly. But yeah, I didn't. Yeah, that's good. That's a good. No wonder why everyone likes going there,
bro. Yeah, like Texas is, bro, crazy. Cause like I looked at like El Paso, my brother, like that's all he talked about. It's like, you know, come to El Paso, bro. And that is really the cheapest city to live in America, bro. Cheapest city, and you get like you might not have grass in your front yard because it's the desert, but bro, you can go
you probably get in Detroit a little bit cheaper, but you probably ain't trying to go there.
Yeah, but you gotta come in there with the IOTV and ACH ready.
We ain't got CIF no more, so we ain't going.
Hey, bro, that's what I said. Like I was telling my wife, like let's invest in some properties in Cleveland, and she was like, well, we already got the house, so like, what do you want to do? She was like, you want to do like another? She was like, what's our budget? I was like, baby, houses up there cost like $90,000. It ain't $400,000 house up there, man. Like,
Georgia's pretty affordable though too. Like for what it is, you get a good. Texas is good for buying houses too. It seems like depending on what you're looking for. Yeah, Florida expensive, dude, starting to rise up.
Yeah,
but
it's just that I feel like when the market dropped back down, it'll be better. But everything is just becoming more and more and more expensive at this point. Like it's getting kind of like crazy. Like I tell my wife, be like, groceries already cost $3,000. I'm like, yeah. So we kind of had like
that's the thing. You get sick going to the grocery store. Everything costs $10 per item. You know what I'm saying? At minimal, that's minimal. Not talking about if you're trying to get proteins or something like that. You know what I mean? Like,
I'd rather my wife tell me she want to go shopping and she'd be like, let's go grocery shopping. I'm like, ooh.
No. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's a hard hit. Be like, yo, we need that meal card back.
Yeah, hey, bro, I wish.
Need that. Oh man, that'd be funny.
I wanted to tell, because like I meant to bring this up earlier with the med board process. So if you are going to med board, people need to know what's most important, because the Army love to throw money around. So for instance, when I got out, you get 2 ratings. So you get like a DOD rating if you med board. It's only if you med board. Okay. You get 2 ratings. So you get your VA side, which is going to be your money, and then you get the Army side, which is going to be the benefits. So like, of course, if you get under 20%, the Army will provide you with a severance package, pretty much like you getting out, and they give people the severance. If you get over 30%, you get to keep TRICARE.
Okay.
So like I was 60 on the Army side, 100 on the VA, and I kept TRICARE. So when it came to my wife doing it, I was like, well, you already covered under me by TRICARE, so go ahead and get that money. And like, I don't know how they determined stipends or whatever, but they gave my wife like $110,000, bro, which you got to pay back. But they take it out like so like, let's say I think she'd get like $39.40 a month, 100%, because she'd be a sergeant first class by the time she retires. So 100% sergeant first class at 11 years. So they gave her like 110 grand, and they take like $300 out of her VA thing. So in reality, she's still getting $3,000 a month. She got this lump sum of money to help her with the transition, still covered by TRICARE. So my thing is, I care more so about the healthcare for the kids, because like healthcare will get crazy. And then I know like the VA kind of push like vets to the, like some of the people I work with, they like you know what I'm saying, they veterans. There's some of the people that work for me, and like I see what they go through just to like get appointments and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I probably don't want to deal with the VA like that. So TRICARE, I just pretty much, they gave me like a list of providers in South Carolina and Georgia that I can go to, and I literally called like I need an appointment for my daughter, and they're like, all right, pull up. And that, bro, it's like it's just for the peace of mind aspect. If you had kids, I would probably recommend trying to get that DOD side of the percentage up. And
so you can only carry on the TRICARE. Is it when you have a retirement package? That has nothing to do with the VA side. That's on the military side.
Yep. Right. So I still can go to the VA as well, but like
but not TRICARE. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think I have access to TRICARE because I just got 100% on the VA side. I don't have nothing on the Army side. So okay.
So like, whereas my wife went and got like, you know, she got like the blue VA card. So I literally have like a sideways cat card, and they don't expire to like 2057, which I just get it renewed. But like it'll say like I still keep all my commissary, MWR, exchange privileges and all that. And then it was like, you know, medical, the thing. And then they tell you like, if you stay in a military town, then I will get TRICARE Select, because then you just go on post. You know how you see like those older people going to like when we used to be in the Army, you see them older people going there in the hospital and stuff. That's like people who retired and they kept that healthcare. But if you do like TRICARE Select, because you kind of far away from a military installation, then you pretty much just go wherever you pick, whatever. Like you can go read their ratings. Like, this doctor's great, and it was like a blessing being here, bro. Because like even my wife I hear horror stories about like people having kids while they're in the military and stuff, and like military hospital. So we got to pick our hospital, bro. And I picked the shiniest, biggest one they had in South Carolina.
There you go. It might as well, man. You earn it, deserve it. You know, everyone deserves it. So, dude, do you get CRSC? Do you know what that is?
Yeah. So the combat related, the specialty, whatever.
People like, that's what I'm saying. Like, how did you know about that when you were in the military? Did you know about it when you got out? It's like there's so many things out there, man. Just trickle along the way, you know, as you go.
Yeah. I had like applied for it, but I forgot why. They sent me like this long letter, was like, well, we can't provide it because something. I was like, bro. And at that point, I was like, I'm just, you know,
you good.
You get 100% of the shots you don't shoot. So I was trying to, you know.
Pretty much. Dude, one of my buddies told me that you can actually hit the VA up and ask, like, if you expunged you expelled, like, if you used all your GI Bill, right, and you have no more school benefits, you can, like, he said he hit him up and they gave him an extra year.
Yeah.
Are you for real? He said, yeah. He said him and his wife, they got an extra year. Like like we were talking about earlier, though, too, if you go for something for STEM, you know, you're going to go and that's not going to count against your GI Bill or something like that. Like, so, and that's just like, you know, man, that's like, go to school, go learn something that's in demand and get paid to do it. And then, you know, you could like, so you guys are all switching to the IT field, and it's crazy. A couple of things that you said earlier, I guess that stuck out were like how easy you said it was for you to like hook up Purvis, man, like literally like someone you knew, like just like that. And boom, you guys are good to go. You know what I mean? Just by staying in touch, looking out for each other. Then you got other people like, not sure what it is. They think they don't have it. People have certs and they have like a degree or something like that, but they still can't find a job. Maybe they're just like looking in the wrong area, or I don't know, man. I feel it's like it's a lot about them. It's just about even cold calling, or just like you said about your network, man, because sometimes you might not get picked up if you're just applying.
Definitely, bro. I think everybody be like, oh, well, you know, I'm gonna get on USA Jobs and find a job. And I mean, USA Job is a great resource, but you just gotta think, like, you have to look at yourself. How competitive would I be versus the rest of America, because everybody is applying for these jobs. Everybody want a federal job. Everybody knows federal job stability, everything like that. So everybody get on USA Jobs. Like they'll tell you how many, like sometimes when you get on there, you will look and they'll be like, all right, we accepting applicants till this date, and it might be 6 months. They're going to get 6,000-7,000 applications, bro. And if you don't stand out on that first page, they gonna scroll past you, bro. Like I applied for like, I'm not gonna lie, bro, like 30 jobs on USA Jobs. I got one call back, bro.
Dude, I did the same thing when I was actually, after I graduated with my bachelor's degree, I did the 2 months when you got paid that BAH. You do that. If you look actively for a job and you like provide the job log to your counselor, you get like you get 2 more months of BAH. So that's what I was doing. I was applying all on USA Jobs because they had work from home claims like officers to help get all the evidence for veterans and stuff like that for their. But I never heard nothing back too. But they had like so it's like a crapshoot pretty much. But I guess if you get the person, if you get someone's email or something like that, then you got a lot better chance.
Yeah. So like and it's crazy because like that was like I jumped into, and then I had got like a good piece of advice, and they was like, man, listen, LinkedIn, like some people hate it. I'm not the biggest fan of it, bro, but you can grow a network on there so ridiculous. Like that's how I got the CSX job offer. Like I like followed one of the or I added them to like my little network thing, and he messaged me, was like, hey, you added me. He was like, I look like, are you a vet? And I'm like, yeah, he was like, well, how you feel about, working for, and we just sparked up like a conversation there. He was like, man, send me a number over. And he was like, I'll call you and we'll talk about some things, bro. And this is the like head dude in Jacksonville, like at their headquarters, like, you know what I'm saying? So me and him just like kind of networked, and, I sent him a message in my resume. He was like, bro, you super competitive. He was like, how'd you feel about working about CSX? But it's just CSX for the money. Like the lines of communication were terrible. Like I didn't hear things for like a month and a half, and then like they called, was like, you do like a DOT drug screen, which it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So like you go pee, but they take hair and like shave it off your body and all type of crazy stuff.
No, full-fledged.
Yeah, so like you gotta make sure you like on the up and up. But then like I passed that stuff, and he was like, look. He was like, school will start in April. It's 20. I mean, he was like, it's 6 months, but it's paid. We just put you in the hotel the whole 6 months in Atlanta. And I was like, well, I'll already be in Georgia, so I won't really need the hotel. So, and it almost worked like the military. Like they pay for your relocation and everything for you to come to wherever area. But then it's like, he was like, oh yeah, that class was full, man. He was like, we aiming for like May, and then it was June. And I was like, bro, I'm just gonna withdraw my application. After I got this, he finally called me like after we hadn't talked for like 6 weeks, bro. He called me, was like, hey man, you know what I'm saying, what's up? Just wanted to, check in with you. I was like, yeah, bro, I already accepted another job. Like I can't sit here and just wait for CSX to decide,
get your money going that you're waiting on. Yeah,
like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to make plans. Like we looking at housing, and like I don't want to move my family to Georgia and be like, well, guys, we moved here for not no reason, but like we just kind of here now. I got to start from ground zero, and it's like I'm like I gotta enroll the kids in school and like make sure we got daycare and whatever the case may be, and my wife comfortable. Like it's not. If it was just me and I was single, bro, I would have went contracting, bro. Honestly, which a lot of people don't like to do, but bro, a dude I was with in Germany, his mother had passed, so me and one of my homeboys, we were super close in Germany. We drove back over to Atlanta. It was only 4 hours from me. And you know what I'm saying? We went to the funeral Thursday, and then, we just stayed in Atlanta with him and kicked it. And he was like, bro, you know what I'm saying? We was just doing Atlanta things, hitting strip clubs and stuff like that and going to kick it. And bro, we went to the strip club. He was like, no, everything on me. He was like, look, this only from like a year and a half of contracting, bro. And my boy had like $260K in the bank, like easy, just sitting there. And he was like,
I got it.
He was like, bro, they gonna pay you. They paying you to do the same thing you were doing in the military, but they're paying you well, and it's tax free. So he don't have no kids, bro. So he just go over there for like a year, come back here for like 4 months, and like just chill and like go on vacation and see his family. Go back over there, and he just come back, bro. Or like he'll go, bro. Like he was just in like Thailand, and he was in Dubai, like, bro. He just living life. I mean, a lot. If you have a kid, I mean, it's a little bit harder. But if my kids was older, I'd be taking them, like, bro, let's go see the world, bro. Nobody else can say that.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, that's a contract market, good money though, man. And they're all over the world, man. Wherever the military is, they got contractors, man.
Yep.
Wherever
He's
they
not
are.
even in the terrible part. He like in, I think he was like in Bahrain for a year, and then he was like in Qatar. And like, bro, he like, you know what I'm saying? I see him posting on like Facebook, and he like in these big malls and in Louis and Gucci, and you know what I'm saying? Like eating at these crazy restaurants and like,
Hey, I was, bro. I got a job in Dubai. I worked Dubai, Niger, Northwest Africa, and Pakistan, dude. I worked overseas like after I got out too. Like when my son was little, it's like yeah, but that was why yeah. But like you get the money's there. It's better than I mean you can't. It's the double-edged sword. It's like you're on a deployment. But would you rather make $12 an hour and live at your mom and dad's house, like, or would you rather go get the money real quick and like come back and just, I don't know, you know what I mean? So you gotta do what you gotta do. But glad you ain't gotta do it. You are a drill sergeant, dude. That's what I'm saying, man. Everyone goes through it, dude. Everyone's like gone. If you've been in the army for more than like a couple of years, you know what I'm saying? Like even a couple of days, you could have got hurt. You know, people. One of my good friends, he got hurt in basic training. He's tore his MCL, man. He just got put out. He got like no % forever. Now he's at 70, but it's like that's crazy. They just like, you know, it's, I don't know, man. It's not like, I don't think it's always a bad thing. The military brought us where we are now. You know, it's like a good stepping stone, good thing to do in life, but just like a lot of things aren't really put out there. So shoot, man, I appreciate you sharing everything that you did, man. I'm sure you're going to help several people. Did you want to say anything else before it closed up?
I mean, I think we pretty much covered it all, bro.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah, definitely. Good. Well, hey, dude, I appreciate you like coming on, man, and like let's keep it up. If you ever want to come back, more than welcome to. But,
all right, bro.
Hey,
that sounds good, bro. Man. We'll be in contact.
All right, sounds good. Have a good one.
All right, you too, bro.